So dangerous. Probably caught that part too. All right. Welcome everybody back to our show channel. We're so glad you're here. Yes, this is Delancey for the second time in a row. You're so welcome. Milena and I are excited to do this one because we're actually going back in the vault of things that we have talked about on our social medias, on our respective social medias, separately before we teamed up together to start doing this. So this episode of the DM show is going to be something from, let me look at the date, back in October of 2021. Wow. So y'all get to get, yeah, that's how far back I go. Because we're in 2023, so a little bit of a distance. Anyway, I looked at my TikTok and I was looking at things where I had answered questions about different things with my adoption story, things that I've gone through, and various content like that. And I came across an interesting one that I had I read to Milena, and I was just like, wow, I guess I forgot about this one. I forgot about a lot of them actually. And I don't mean like I dismissed them, because I didn't, but it's like I feel like we talk about some of these topics so much, and some of these were so directly personal. Right. Like this individual had, and I'm just going to read it. I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit because, I don't have the permission to speak for this person. So I don't want to like speak directly for their words, but it was on a video that I had posted where I met my biological mom. And it says, I had said something about meeting and like not knowing what to say and things like that. And their response was, that's the way it's been for me. I'm 40 years old. I'm adopted. I was adopted when I was 10 days old from foster care. I've always wanted to meet biologicals, but what would I say? And that's such an interesting question, because I don't know that we've actually directly talked about that. And we have two different perspectives on this, because I have met biologicals and went through the what would I say? What did I say? And Milena is about to go on a really great journey where she's been through the meeting virtually, but now she's going to start meeting in person, potentially.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it
it's okay. A for sure. Yeah.
It's a for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Is there a possibility that it's not? I was like, wait a minute. Did I just like,
no, you're good.
Third up.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just start there. Like, what would you, first, let's start with this, with a virtual meeting. What did you first say? Did you message her first? And if you did, what was your opening?
So like, I'd have to even go back and look. I'm not sure exactly, because it was her and a bunch of siblings. But as far as like nailing it down for communication wise, it was my little brother who spoke English. So he did obviously, most of the speaking. But I can't, I'm trying to even think, because we have a language barrier. So it was pretty much just like we saw each other, like when I first met her that way. And then like we cried. And then I think it took a minute, but like I remember my brother was with me, because my brother like spoke Spanish, because he served a mission that was Spanish speaking for a couple years. So he came over, but I honestly don't even remember. I don't know if it was just kind of like, hi. And then we kind of showed everybody, like Ben and the kids, to be like, this is my family. And then kind of like, I don't even like remember. I don't know if it was just, there was so much shock and awe, because like, it was like, I was even telling Ben last night, I was like, I didn't know that this would ever happen, to be honest. Growing up, I never thought it would happen, because, when I was little, like I had desire, but nothing like as I became older, I wanted to seek her out. And so I just never thought it would happen. So, and then I mean, like over time, I think over time at least I was able to talk a little bit more about things, but the initial, I don't know. And that's where I'm like, in person, it's going to be, because like, I don't even speak their language. So it's going to be even more like, hi. I think there's just going to be lots of tears and lots of hugging. And then it'll calm down, and then it'll be like, okay, let's talk, but through an interpreter. I don't know what I was going to say. What about you? Because you experienced it.
Well, I was actually wondering, like, how did you, before I jump into mine, because mine's like wackadoodle, mine's a lot. Um, how did you like? What did you message? Did you email? Did you like? How did that go about?
Oh, no,
Because I
that's
don't.
actually no, that's great. No, like so okay, so the girl that was helping me, she found a bunch of them on Facebook, like biological brothers. So I kind of
Facebook
started
strikes again. I'm just going
that's
to point that out.
no,
Facebook
it's
strikes
true.
again.
It's true. And so it's kind of like what we were talking about. I think we were talking about it before, me and you were, before we started recording. Is like I reached out. Yeah, we did. We talked about it before because
Hmm.
of how you went straight to your answer, which I won't say anything. But I was like, hey, I think my thing was just like, I think I'm your biological sister. I know this is really weird, but I think I'm your biological sister. And of course they're like, what? Like, because one, I'm not in Colombia, I'm in America.
Crazy
So
lady.
they're,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Crazy lady.
Exactly. And so kind of we went through it and they're like, well, we need proof because like, I get it. You're not just going to come like
Hmm.
somebody making these allegations, especially when they didn't know about me. So those were kind of the first things. And then we actually had a friend who lives in Colombia who once I got her phone number from the biological siblings, once their walls were kind
Hmm.
of broken down because they saw, okay, yeah, this is her because I had stuff to prove it was her. He called her and then she kind of opened up more there. Like, yes, I remember placing her. Yes, this, yes, that, yes, this. And so then when I was able to message her, it was just kind of like, hi, and just kind of, I don't know, like, hi, like, and because my sole purpose, anybody that knows, it was just to reach out and say thank you. That's all it's
Right.
ever been is to thank you because
Right.
I really am truly grateful for her because of the life that I have now. Like, that's just what it
Hmm.
comes down to. And so, yeah, with them, it was weird. With her, I don't know. I'd have to go back. Oh, it'd be a lot. I'd have to go back and see. But the first messages were probably just kind of like, hey, I'm excited to talk to you when we get a chance, but this is kind of, me. And I probably did like a little intro, like, hi, I'm Elena. Like, I have, yeah.
Like we like we
I don't
talked about
know.
before we started recording, and I was
Yes.
like, I did not do that, and you're over here like, of course I did that.
I didn't do it with my biological siblings, but I did it with my birth mom, which, yeah, no, but yours. Yeah. See? Okay. So, yeah, that's yeah. I don't remember. That's actually I want to go back and see because I think that's really good. So
It's interesting to revisit it because I revisited it. That was
Mhm.
very interesting. I went back to it not too long ago just to look at it, after
Yeah. Yeah.
after everything, just to go through and before I made my final decision about
Right.
where I stood with everything.
Right.
I went back and I looked through a lot of different things, and because I, as much as people like to say I'm totally emotional, which I kind of am. I'm also very analytical too. I like to like look at everything, evidence, big picture. The more I like to know a lot of information, which is why with mine, there's a reason I'm saying all this. With mine, I'm very much I don't want to give you a long drawn out, me personally, and I'm even like this with business. I don't see a reason to send, for me personally, don't see a reason to send like an intro. I'm
Right.
like
Right. Right.
straight to the point. Let me know. Like, are you interested? Are you not? If you are, fantastic. And I say it nicer than that. But I kind of in a way, after, going through the looking and everything, I was like, took me a couple of days to figure out if I was going to send a message or not. And then it was just like, you know what? I just need confirmation.
Right.
And my original message was something to the effect of, hey, did you have a relationship with insert biological dad's name here? And then, resulted in a baby. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in my journey too on a previous episode. But, did you have a relationship with so and so? Like fact one. If you did you have a baby in April of 1984? Fact two. If you did, fact three, I think you're my biological mother. Let me know. Essentially is what it came down to. Like I just straight factual because to me,
Right.
I don't want to send you things about myself, especially when like my on Facebook, when my Facebook is locked down. I don't share a lot of my
Right.
Facebook stuff with a lot of people. So I don't want to send you a lot of stuff. And I just the grief, the grief I caught from family of like, are you kidding? You could have sent something else. Like, this is your first impression. I was like, well, then she knows I'm business and no nonsense. Like,
Right. Exactly.
I don't see how this is a problem. And they're like, but you're not. And I was like, but I am. Like part of me is anyway, and you know, when Melina and I were talking about stuff and I'm reading through everything and on TikTok, and I had my video muted so that it wasn't playing through the speaker. And I'm just watching my facial expression. I was like, even, you know, years after the fact, when I'm replaying it then and I'm replaying it now, my feelings are still the same. I still feel like for me, that was the best
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
So for when, you know, for people to say, what would you say? You know, how you introduce yourself to people.
Ooh, I love that. I do
Like, you
love
know,
that.
yeah, you know what makes you most comfortable when you introduce yourself to someone. Biologicals or another person that you're introducing yourself to. Like, yes, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of mental things going on, there's a lot of like anxiety, and it's a whole lot of things going on. And a lot of people always have an opinion about what you should do, but you know what's best for you of how you introduce yourself to someone. So for me, virtually introducing myself to someone was to find out these facts. And if you
Right.
have this confirmation, then we can start going into the fun stuff. We
Right.
can start
Right.
going into like the fun little details. I can tell you, like, you know, youngest of four, all these other little things, and like, you
Right.
know, thank you for this life, because that was all I ever wanted to. Same thing as you. I don't want to
Right. Right.
like just thank you.
Yeah.
Now, in person meeting,
Yeah. That's where I want to know too with you.
lots of tears.
Oh yeah.
I actually broke out in we
You told me that.
we thought it was, yeah, like I broke out in hives, which I think like never done that in my entire life.
Yeah.
Not once ever. But I think like we think it was a combination of like me being nervous and anxious because like I could not, and I was in such a weird place in my life too. Such a weird place mentally and physically. I was, you know, this is additional details that I don't think I've ever shared before, but like, you know, I was in the middle of prepping for a show. I was competing in amateur bodybuilding, so I was in the middle of prepping for a show. So as I was on a very strict eating regimen. Like I had my own food with me. So that made it already awkward for them, I'm sure, because they were probably like, why is this girl in a restaurant with, you
Your
know,
food around.
Tupperware? Yeah, with Tupperware. This is so weird. Like we're all ordering fried foods and hamburgers and things. And like, so I have that. I'm nervous, I'm anxious because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I had made the decision to, for whatever, not for whatever reason, but like my oldest sister was there because she wanted to be the support system and she felt like she was a neutral party. And looking back on it, I kind of like, I wish I had my mom there at the same time because my mom does know me best. Like, as
Right.
much as like, shout out to my mom, love you, mom. But like, we both know we drive each other nuts, but we also both know that we're the first one to each other's defense too.
Right.
Like,
Right.
don't you mess with my mama. Like, that's my mama.
Right.
I will come for you.
Yeah.
And but my mom's like that with me too. She's
Yeah.
very, but she's like that with all her kids. She knows all of us so well. So I feel like I, looking back, I wish I would have had my mom there too.
Yeah.
But everything happens the way that it's supposed to and the way that things need to happen.
Right.
So all of this going on, keep all that in mind. I'm tired. I just driven 6 hours
Yeah.
and we were meeting, and it was like, it was one of those things of everybody had an opinion about how it should go.
Yes.
And not saying they were good or bad opinions. They just like everyone had thoughts on it. And I get it. And
Right.
I appreciate my sister recording it because she caught all the moments.
Right.
Now, the video that's on my TikTok and Instagram that went viral, which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still don't understand how that happened, but here we are. That's a shortened version. I cut out all the stuff in the beginning where you see, like, I think you see me go, like, my heart's racing or my heart's
Yeah.
beating out of my chest or like I can't breathe. It's something
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like constantly touching my chest but you also see where I am. If you look at that video of what I look like physically compared to what I look like physically now, I'm not talking about size. I'm talking about like just color.
Yeah.
Like I am so much more white in that video than I
Oh,
am now.
You are. And that's
right?
one thing I noticed. I was like, she looked like her skin, like this is really the only thing I'm like, why is she so much lighter in this one than when I see her? Like when so
Why is she so white? But she's supposed to be half Mexican. This is weird. I can tell you, if no matter how much Hispanic blood or indigenous blood or Native American blood or whatever you have in you, if you are going through mental health things and you stay inside 24/7, you are going to be pretty translucent. I mean,
do you have
I
one
mean,
of these? Prime example. Look at that.
I surprisingly, I don't have one of those because I always somehow I end up taking my watch off, or if I do, it's like light.
Yeah.
I need to be better about leaving my watch on when I'm outside because I'm all like tan lines. Ah! I'm like, I don't want them. But it's
Tan line's like
you,
right here. Right here. I hate the
yeah,
tan lines right
like
there.
the little farmer's tan. Oh God,
Sorry.
girl, during the first part of baseball season, that's what mine did too. But that's the proof though.
Yeah.
It's like we get tan lines just like
Yeah.
everybody else does. We can, and if you do the comparison, so looking back, there was so much. What do you say? I didn't say anything.
Right.
I like immediately went to tears and
Yeah.
breaking down. And you can hear my sister in the video go, she knew she was going to cry. Everyone knew I was going to cry.
Right.
I cry over everything.
I do.
If you get me a super sweet card out of nowhere,
bawling. Yeah. Agreed.
I'm like tearing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Or like if something happens and I've been like praying for something and like some kind of answer or resolution, like the embodiment of it appears or comes into my
Yes.
life, I cry because I I also cry when I'm mad too. So that's a whole other thing. Like that's my reaction to a lot of things.
Same.
So that was my reaction. What do you say? I said I didn't know I needed this. And we've talked this through in different episodes. So I'm not going to dive into that.
Right.
But after everything calmed down and we went to dinner, it was like I hugged, youngest sibling, hugged her because she was like, I think 11 or 10 at the time. She was super young.
Yeah.
And then, my my brother, I ended up hugging him because like I'd always wanted one.
Yeah.
And I even said that I've always wanted a brother.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a little brother. Like I've always wanted one. And like, and then I met, the oldest sister who we've had on here. And I mean, she flat out said, like, I had no feelings either way, but if I didn't want to be a part of it, I didn't want to be a part of it. That had been built up to the situation of where I was given the impression that she wanted nothing to do with me. And all I wanted was just to be her friend.
Yeah.
And that, so I didn't like the individual. What do you say? I didn't know I needed this. This is crazy. To, oh, it's so nice to meet you. It's nice to have a baby sister, and I'm not baby sister anymore, something to that effect. And then like I've always wanted a brother. And then with the oldest sister that was on here, being like, hey, nice to meet you.
Right. Was there a lot of like silent communication? Do you understand what I mean about that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was, oh yeah. And it's one of those things of my sister picked up on that more so than I did, because I was trying to take everything in.
Right.
And the guy that I think I want to say that she talked about this on her episode, but the guy that she was dating at the time, it was like one of those things where I just want to look at him and go, this is not about you. I need you to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like respectfully.
Wow.
And I know that's not very nice for me to feel and for me to say out loud, but like and it wasn't anything, but it's like, respectfully, you're just a boyfriend. He's gone. Like she's married to a completely different guy now. That is fantastic for her. Like he is a wonderful, like they're wonderful for each other. Right. So for me, it was like, you're just a boyfriend. Silence is key in this moment.
But even if he wasn't just a boyfriend, Like most
Well,
people, I feel like most people who, obviously this man is no longer in her life for a reason. Like,
oh,
hello, we
yeah,
can all say
right,
that. But like most
right.
people, I feel like, okay, this is like for them. I'm just here as
Hmm.
a support. But yeah,
Hmm.
no, I feel like most
Yeah,
conscious people.
yeah. Most conscious people read the room.
Correct.
So, as far as what to say, I didn't say a whole lot.
See,
So,
okay.
this is what a lot of people may not realize about me at first because, a lot of people think they know me. This is what I love. A speaker I recently heard was like, how many of you know me in this room? I mean, I've heard her name, but I didn't know her. So I'm not going to raise my hand. And like, I think out of 75 women, probably about 50 of them shot their hands up. And she
Wow.
goes, okay, how many of you really know me? Like,
Oh,
actually know me?
yeah.
Every single one of their hands go down. So a lot of people that quote unquote know me are like,
Right.
oh gosh, she is like a big personality. I think somebody told me one time I had a mascot personality, which I love that compliment so much. Somebody else said, like, oh my gosh, she is so funny. She is hilarious. She's so great until she's not. Like, if you cross a line with her, she's going to let you know. 100%, I'm going to. I will 100% let you know. Those people that really know me know that when it's a new situation, I generally spend the first half of it, if not the first meeting of it, taking everything in,
Right, right.
observing everybody, reading social cues, reading the room, seeing what people are saying, watching how they interact with each other, finding out the dynamics of the room, of the dynamics of the situation. I don't think I said a whole lot at that dinner. I don't
Yeah.
remember saying a whole lot, at least. And my sister even was like, that was a lot of information for you to take in. And I'm sitting here thinking it wasn't a lot of like valuable, but as far as words, but
Right.
watching
Yeah.
dynamics,
Yeah.
there was a lot of
Yes.
nonverbal communication going on there that I will say that I recognized, but I ignored
Right. Yeah. No, I
because I was
understand
like,
that. I understand that. Yeah.
first time.
Right.
Um,
And
so
it's a lot. Like you said, there's
yeah,
tons going on. Tons going on.
tons going on, people
Yeah.
talking, and it's like everyone's like trying to get like you're trying to pay attention to everybody because you don't want to be disrespectful to anyone. And quite frankly, you're outnumbered.
Right.
Quite to
Exactly.
to call, I
Yeah.
mean, to call it what it is.
No.
There's no one likes to be outnumbered. That's why I'm glad my oldest sister was there. I wish I would have had my mom
Yeah.
there too,
Right.
because my mom is fantastic at pulling it back in, reining it
Yeah.
in, leveling out the playing field. Like, she's wonderful at
Yeah.
doing things like that.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Like, I honestly, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I really, what to say, what best to say. And I think I said what I thought was best at the time. Didn't know I needed this. Oh my gosh, I have a baby sister. Oh my gosh, I have a brother.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I I love how you said like the nonverbal because I feel like that is going to be so much like that comes into play with
mhm.
mine own because that's why I wanted to ask that. Like, what about the nonverbal stuff? Because there's so much probably silent communication, like you said, your sister picked up on. It's just, it is what it is. Cause like, I don't know. I don't, would you, okay, let me ask you this. Would you think that like most people have a lot of silent communication when they meet somebody new?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh,
Right.
100%. 100%. What their face says and what their body says when they're meeting you
Yeah.
says so much more than what their words do.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the reason, like, anytime somebody, this is my, just not adoption related, but just like life related. I love when I get icky vibes from people or I get bad vibes from people. Like, when I meet them or I'm around them for a little bit, I'm like, not exactly my vibe, not my jam. And then
Right.
I'm told, but they're nice people. Jeffrey Dahmer was nice too.
I
If
just
he
love
wasn't
you
nice,
so much because I love all like the stuff you come in clutch with when people like
well, I mean, like, that's my
no,
thought. Like,
no, it's true.
I mean, is it not true? Because
No,
if
it's
Jeffrey Dahmer
100% true.
wasn't a quote unquote nice person and he wasn't charming, he would not have gotten like been able to do the things that he did.
A
It's just
lot of
not
those
like
people. Ted
ex-
Bundy, he was one of them too. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. No,
Thank
it's
you.
true. It's
Like
true.
it's one of those things where nonverbal cues, if somebody's making and some of it's nervousness, some of
Right.
it's like not being aware. Like,
Right.
sorry, Gen Z, I'm gonna pick on y'all for a second. A lot of y'all do not understand that when you are speaking with someone, you should make eye contact.
Yeah.
Not like the whole time, don't be creepy,
Right.
but
Be creepy.
don't be
No, but it's
creepy.
true.
But
It's true.
it's true.
No, no, it's totally
Or
true.
when you shake someone's hand, it
Yeah.
needs to be a handshake. Don't
Yeah.
break their hand, but also like we've talked about this on a previous one.
Yeah.
Don't
No
do this.
floppy. The floppy.
Don't do the dead fish thing. It's
Yeah.
but absolutely nonverbal cues wholeheartedly. If some to me, anytime I meet someone, I try to be, even if I'm not standing, I try to be facing them, like my shoulders facing them to let them know I'm open to receiving the
Right.
information they're about to give me, whatever that
Right.
information is. Because to me, like consciously changing my body to face them
Oh, body language
is
is huge.
open.
Yeah.
Body language is a huge thing.
Yeah. It totally
Eye
is.
contact, facing them when you're speaking to them, speaking to them directly. That's
Right.
a huge thing. And don't do this number. And you didn't see me, but I did the elevator eyes where you go down and then back up again, because there's no way that that comes across well.
I've never understood that.
There's no way. It comes across either creepy when someone's doing it to the opposite sex and they're like
Right.
checking them out. That's creepy.
Yes.
Or if you're doing it to somebody in a business setting and then you do it, it's like you're judging them. They
Well,
automatically know you're judging them.
yeah. Well, even like just meeting new people, like it's
Mhm.
the same judging them, not necessarily business,
Mhm.
but like when you see somebody do like that number to you, you're like,
Yeah.
hi.
It's like, I know my outfit's great. Thank
Right.
you.
And by the way, I thrifted these, so I got them for way good deal.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, I didn't spend $500 on my shoes. Thanks so much.
Exactly.
But nonverbal cues, especially when there's a language barrier, but there could also be a culture barrier in that
It's true.
too.
It's true.
Where something in one culture is offensive and in another culture it's respectful.
Right. Well, I
Like
know with at
that's
least like the Latin America culture, and it was like until we had a friend who actually dated a girl who was like from there. She like they kiss. It's like in Europe too. They just kiss cheeks. And so it kind of threw me off when we met her. And so I know that's probably going to happen a lot when I go to Colombia. It's just culture. It's just part of who they are. And so for me, who we
really
don't do that here, I'm gonna be like, okay. Exactly. I will hug you, but like
I'm really
'cause I'm a
glad you
hugger.
explained that. Because you're like, they kiss you, and I'm like,
Yeah, oh, not right here. No, it's just like quick. And I think some places in Europe do it too. Cause it's like, and it's nothing but like the first time like she did it, I was like, whoa. And then she went to Ben and I was like, whoa. And he's like, oh no, they do that. He's like, I'm used to it because I travel to Latin America. But I'm like,
I was about
give
to
me a
say,
clue. Like,
I love that Ben did not. I almost feel like Ben was like, let's see what happens. Let's see what my wife does.
probably because
That's
I'm like,
fantastic.
wait, but yeah, no. So I like how you brought that up about the culture part too, because that's so true. That's so true. And it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Listening to you about talking about your hives and stuff too. You can probably see my eyes like all shifting weird because like it makes me nervous. Like I know I'm gonna physically do something to myself. And so, but it was just weird to say about it, but it comforts me to know that your body had such a reaction to try and figure it out that it doesn't make me feel as weird that like, okay, like if I have something happen, it's just gonna, it's natural. Like it's your body trying to figure out all these emotions that are going on. And this is the only way is hives. This is how I'm gonna figure it out, and it's different for everybody. So different for everybody. So different.
It really is. And it's one of those things of it's your body going 5-alarm fire. Like what is happening right now? Like this is overload.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I just randomly heard a knocking. It's like, it's not my door. So did you hear too? Okay. So, all right. Well, let things happen is what it is. pocket's safe with me here, so we're good.
Oh, good.
It's kind of like, the 5 alarm fire and the different responses that your body has. It's also okay in that moment, because I think anyone would understand that in any kind of like high emotional stress, mental stress moment of, I mean, because that's what that is. I mean, I
100%.
mean,
Yeah.
it
No,
100% is.
100. Yeah.
I think people worry too much about saying the perfect thing.
Right. Right. Ooh, I love that too, that you said that. Yes. No. And there is
Like,
no perfect
don't,
thing. Yeah.
there is no perfect thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
There is no perfect thing to say unless you are watching You've Got Mail and you say the line, I hoped it was you. That's like, you have to have like a movie writer or a script writer, and you have to work and practice your lines. But if you do that, it's not organic. You're not going to get
Yeah.
everything out of it. Your body's not going to
Right.
get the reception. You're not going to be able to pick up on everything because your body lets you know the
Right.
different things that maybe you don't realize in the moment. Like your body recognizes energy levels and things like that. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then so I just don't worry too much about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, and I like what you said earlier, and I think I said it after you said it, that I loved it so much, is that it's different for everybody, because it really truly is. There's nothing that anybody can say, this is how it should be said, this is how it should be done, because every situation is so different. You know what I mean? And what you said was, only you know how like you're going to present yourself or communicate or anything. That was probably my favorite thing that you said, because it's true. Everybody's different, and it's not just adoption related stuff, but like anything. Like you know how you're going to do it. Nobody else can say it or tell it for you. So I love that you said that too.
Well, and it's businesses will tell you, like, your brand.
Yes. Yeah.
You know your brand, you know who you are, you know what you stand for. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can take advice from other people, but
Right.
only you know what works best for you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's so true.
I'm so excited for you to go do this. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited for you to go do this, because it's like, even if, and I'm not saying this would happen to you, but like, just speaking from my experience, like, even though I have made the choice to no longer continue a relationship with any biologicals,
Right.
I'm still look back on it and go, that was a cool experience.
Yeah. And you've said that
Like,
before. Yeah, you
yeah,
said
like
that before.
that was a cool experience. It was a cool time period in my life. And, I think that it's one of those things that no matter what, it's going to be a great experience.
Right.
Even
Right.
if something wackadoodle happens, like you break out in
Yeah.
hives like I did, and your heart's beating out of your chest and you feel like you can't breathe,
Yeah.
and you start immediately bawling the second you step in eye view of each other, it's
Right.
still a cool experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still a cool experience. So
Yeah. Which
I'm so
which I
excited.
love.
I'm so excited.
I am too,
Have
but I'm
you
also so nervous. What? Sorry, have I
have you
what?
thought about what this is so not even anything important at all, but have you thought about what you're gonna wear?
Oh, no. No. No, honestly, no. This is how bad I am, Delancey. I've been pushing everything off so I don't have to think about it. Like,
That's
finally,
fair.
me and Ben had a sit down. Was it last night? He's like, "Okay, babe, we've got to decide what we're gonna do. Like, we've got to get it figured out." Because like we have flights and everything, but he's like, how long? Like, I don't know. He's been the best. He's been so supportive of it. And I'm glad he's going with me. Like, cause he is like already, for instance, talked to my little biological brother yesterday. We're getting things all set in place for people. I haven't told anybody this, and I can open Shirley more here because they don't watch this, plus they don't speak English. But like, they're planning on picking us up from the airport. Him and his girlfriend are. Like I've said before, we're not staying with them.
You're
We're
staying
staying at a
separate.
hotel. For
Yeah.
my mental state, I have to do that. But now this is where it's hard. I'm conflicted on, we were going to go somewhere and like have a break. And I still need like, I still know me, and I'm going to need a day or two to like process everything, whether it's, we cut the trip short a little bit and then come back home, and I have somebody keep my kids for a couple days, which has been suggested by a couple people. Like, have them keep your kids for a couple days so you can just come back and have a whole day to just like, because it's going to be a lot. Like, it's going to be, I mean, you know that. And so yeah, so that's the plan as of right now. They're gonna pick us up. They're gonna actually take us around Columbia a little bit, and then that night she's gonna come over. So I'm thinking like the first things I'm gonna say, because it's her birthday, the first thing is gonna be happy birthday. Like, surprise, happy birthday.
That's amazing.
Because and then we'll go from there. It
I feel like that's a great opening line.
yeah. So that'll probably be my first opening line. And yes, and I am planning on trying to document a lot of it. I am going to block all of them because they watch my stories, obviously. So they're not like, wait, what? That looks familiar. I'm going to try and block everything, but to have it unfold. And I'll try and do my best, but we'll see. I'm going to have Ben record a lot because I'm like, he's like, no, I'm planning on it. So like, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
goes.
goes.
I always encourage people to, especially after mine and seeing now, again, looking at videos and things like that, being able to see things.
Right.
Recording, having somebody there to record is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah. And I've told my little brother and his girlfriend, I'm like, you guys, you're going to record too. Like, please, can you please do that? And they're like, yeah, of course. We'll make sure that we have it from a different angle too, because, cause it's just going to be, I don't know, and people don't, I don't know if people don't like, it's a surprise. Like it's 100% a surprise me showing up and seeing her there. Cause we kind of wanted to do that. So it'll be interesting.
Wait a minute. So little brother knows. She doesn't know.
No.
Okay. I must have completely deleted that out of my mind. That's even more exciting.
I know. So she has zero clue. So we're planning on, before I leave, I'm going to record a video with the kids. It's like, happy birthday. Hope you have a great day, and send it like from my house. And then I'll show up like my little brother. He's like, can we put you in a box? Cause we never get that opportunity, and wrap it. And then you like,
yes. Can we put you in a box? I'm not even there. Can we put you in a box?
I think we're going to. He's like, we're going to look for a box right now. And then we're going to put you in it and tell her to unwrap it. And then you will just shoot up when she opens it.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we might do that.
I am even more jazzed about this now.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah. And that's where I know it's going to be interesting meeting in person, and this is where I do get nervous, because like virtually and so many miles away, I have more control of boundaries and talking to, and not saying that I don't, but then like once I meet them in person, I honestly don't feel like it's going to change much, like as far as like boundaries. But that's where I get nervous too, is it's like, hey, now that they've met me, what's going to happen there? And it's kind of those same things of like, I always kind of feared before of like, are they going to want to come to the States and take advantage because I live in the States, and this and this and this and this? But I've also made it very clear, I am not your ticket here to here. You have to bust your ass to get here. Like, if you want to come visit, that's great, but you're not here. It's not here you're not living with me. Like, you have to go figure out your shit, because I will not be taken advantage of, because I've been taken advantage of too much in my life. I'm not going to do it.
Well, and it's one of those things of, you can be a support system with boundaries. You know what I mean? Correct. Like you don't have to, you don't, like you say, you don't have to like provide the whole road. Like you can provide the map. And like be a cheerleader. And like, I think, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know them. So I think it's gonna be great. I'm just gonna say that. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a wonderful lead in, especially on her birthday. And like, out of a box. Like, there's just something so.
Just know I'll be texting you lots. Like, I've already have a handful of people, like one, my really good friend, but you too, because I'm like, she's been through this, she's adopted, she knows what it like. You've lived through this experience that I know I can just voice anything to you, because I've done that to Delancey before on something that's happened, and she's like, it's okay, like it's gonna be okay. And that's like what I need going through that situation. Just somebody tell me like, it's gonna be okay. I know it's scary,
it's gonna be okay. You can feel this. This is normal. Like this is like, feel it. It's fine. It's gonna be okay when you get through. It's very important. And I've said that before, like my sisters have said it, like it's very important to have somebody who, where again, our families love us. They're so supportive of us. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can say that for both of our families.
100%. Yes.
To have somebody that actually has the same like
Situation.
feelings
Yeah.
that the situation, like kind of like parallel situations, feelings, different things like that. It helps.
Yeah, it does.
It helps that it
100%.
helps to have that safe spot to be like, you know, dude, what the hell? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like,
Right.
you know, just where there's a safe space, no holds barred, like say whatever you want. And it's just like
Exactly.
the other person is going to go, wow, you're being a little extra right now,
Right.
or wow, that wasn't very nice. It's like, you know what, I get it. Or like telling
Yeah.
you, well, I don't think that's the right way to look at that. And instead of having that, like a true safe space is going,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
read me into the situation so I can get it.
So
Okay,
true.
oh my gosh, I'm so jazzed. Like I'm so excited for you.
This
I'm so
episode will
excited
come
for
out
you.
after we go. That's how many episodes we have banked. Like this will come
What?
out after we
This will
go.
be after?
Yeah, this one will be after we go. So they'll be like, oh, and I'll be like back, like, okay, this happened. So yeah, this will be
Then
this.
you know what? If y'all are listening to this, then now you know how she felt before she got there. Like a little insider
Right.
information or a little
Tidbit.
backstage view of how she felt before going over. I didn't realize we had that many banks still, and we
Mhm.
even took some time off for
I know.
vacations and
It's helped that we've
holidays
done
and
2 days a week. And that's the thing, because like we've got
mm,
another week after this next week, we've got the same thing. Like we're missing a Saturday and a Tuesday because of things that we have. But that's what I love, that like
yeah,
we do that, because then we have that buffer for when we have things, that's fine.
right.
You know what I mean? It's fine.
Or if something happens and we're just like, we just can't.
Yeah, it's true.
Like life has happened. I mean,
It's
we've had
true.
that situation before too.
Yeah,
That's another thing I love about us so much
I know. Agreed.
is that we show up and we also understand.
Right. No, 100%. Because life is life. We get that. We
Life
totally
is
get
life.
that. So,
That should be
okay.
the
Well,
quote.
we
Life
could
is
ramble
life.
on this forever, which we've gone off, but it's kind of not off
What?
topic. But no, it's been good. I've loved it. I'm glad you brought this up, because it really is, it's a good one. And I like where we're at
Mm-hmm.
right now with our stages of our journeys, both, because it's like you can
Mm-hmm.
see two different perspectives, which I love. I think that's great that we got that. So, anyway. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Just know you and be confident in you, and
I love that.
it'll be all right. Know
I
you, be
love that.
confident in you, and it will work out.
Yes. I love that. And if you
That's
get
it.
hives, it's okay.
It's okay.
That's my
It's
favorite thing.
okay.
I do love that you said that, because I know you told me that before, but I forgot that. But I'm like, okay, yeah. So if my body does do something crazy, it's
Yeah,
normal.
if your
Like
body
it's
does
okay.
something wackadoodle, it's okay. That's your body going, hold on.
Yeah.
What is happening here? Why
Right.
are we
Yeah.
let's the 5 alarm fire.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So, okay. Awesome. Okay, guys, as always, thanks for listening to us for another great week. And like I said, really, if you're not watching the YouTube, I just have to say you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, because I know popping it in your ears is listening is easy, but man, you can catch some good stuff on YouTube. So, okay.
You really
Thanks.
do.
We will catch you next time. Thanks, guys.